Okay, and I think that we're live streaming. So, oh my goodness, this is my first time facilitating this meeting, so, bear with me. Yeah, thanks. And I'm going to make it so I can't see myself in the screen because that's gonna make it. Okay, and I think that we're live streaming.
There you go.
So, oh my goodness, this
We
is
need
my
that.
first time facilitating this meeting. Oh, bear with me. Yeah. Delayed. One second, so I can see myself in the screen, that's gonna make it. Okay. Oh, that's the live stream link,
Mhm.
so we probably don't want that.
Must have sent you the wrong one, I'm sorry.
So,
That's the live stream and that's the one that went out publicly.
wow, look at all that owl action happening. Folks, we will get going in just a few minutes. What I will do is pull up the agenda.
Yeah.
And let me get sharing capacity, multiple, okay.
Is that Michelle?
Okay.
Just a second.
Okay. So let's call this meeting to order. We've got Dan, I would like to ask you for process, because I typically do not use Robert's rules of
Okay.
meeting management.
See.
So I know that we need to make motions for actions.
Mhm.
And if you see me going, like skipping over something, will you just let me know as we go? Okay.
I usually announce the meeting and the first time what the date is, where we are,
Okay.
that it's an MCS Board of Directors meeting.
Thank you. Okay, so welcome everyone to the Mosier Community School Board of Directors meeting. We are in the library at the Mosier Community School on July 15th, 2025. And as far as the directors that we have, we've got Tiffany Strands, Dan Watson, Marie Maru, and Avelia Lanchero. Awesome. And then we have Michelle Dawkins. And for our agenda today, I wanted to check in. We do not have any pre-submitted public comments that I have received. Does anybody else have any that they've received?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Can I ask you all to provide any additional edits on the June meeting minutes? Anything that needs to change before we approve that? Okay, then I would motion to approve the June board meeting minutes. Okay, thanks, Amelia, for the second. All in favor? Any opposed, please voice your opposition. It's so funny because in training to be a facilitator, the book I read was Breaking Robert's Rules. So I'm really gonna have to get used to this. Are there any changes that we need to make on the agenda? Yeah, Tip.
I was just gonna propose that it's like a quick update just to tell you about my meeting with Press Lane last Thursday concerning the work ballot prepped.
Yes, awesome. And so we will put that in committee reports. Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Wherever it fits.
Okay.
It's not, it's
No?
It's not a
Not a
committee
committee,
though.
so-
I guess
Not a
technically-
committee?
I guess
Okay.
technically you're right.
Then
You
let's
want
not
to talk about it during facilities?
Yeah,
During my
that works.
ED?
We can do
Can't you
that.
just do it during my ED?
Yes,
Okay.
that works for me.
It's quick, it's not.
Okay. So with that addition, usually you approve the agenda too. Okay, I would make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of Tiffany's update as part of the ED report. Tiff's got it. Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Great. Okay. So I'm noticing that our next item is the MTA report. However, I don't see our MTA gals on, and so maybe we don't actually have an MTA report.
Do you know, Michelle?
Yeah, usually,
I guess because it's summertime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, there's really not much.
Yeah, we don't, maybe that was just an accident that I included it. How about a business manager report?
Yes, we can do that. So if you go to Did I? Oh, I still forgot. Well, I guess I'm just gonna quickly just tell you about the, um, two things, the audit, we are very close. Very late, but very close to the audit. We are a priority, for them. And I think that we're within a day or two of it going to the partners, but that will, once that goes to partners, then it takes about a week. And then we'll get it back. We kind of are at the point of telling them just to, they keep wanting just to fix little things. And when I talked to the CFO from Hood River, he's like, just tell them to do it. And that if we have errors or we have findings, that when we have the report, then we'll just say, those are things that we'll work on for next year. So, because you could pick all day long at stuff. At that. And then, we did send out the engagement letter for Polly Rogers and Company, an engagement for the audit for next year. The advice that we had from the CFO of Hood River is if we can have them do our financials. He said it's like having there is a firewall, so it's a totally different department, that they have a different department, but they would do the financials and then you would have them do the audit. And so why they are not the same, I mean, they're different departments. So there's no conflict of interest, but they also know that their process would be the process that Polly Rogers is used to, and it makes it go a lot faster. Mark DeMoss told me that that's what Hood River does, and it just makes it go a lot easier. Once we have the engagement letter done and signed, we can go ahead and start uploading, because we already have all the documents ready. We're just going to start uploading all the documents that we already have, the board of directors, our just the insurance, all the things that we already have in place. We're going to go ahead and get those uploaded. The goal is to have financials we can't do the financials until this audit is finished. Once this audit is finished, then we're going to go ahead and give them the go ahead to do the financials. So the financials would be done in August, September, and then we're ready to go. And then be on their docket for October to have and we should be done in October, November. So, which would be, that's our goal. This has lasted a lot longer, so. Both Veronica and I are learning a lot of lessons. Summer has kind of pulled out a little bit because she's been pretty busy. And so she did kind of help us with the financials, but she didn't do the end report. Veronica did that for us, so. And that's all, I guess just to approve, I guess it is an action item to approve that we're gonna go ahead with the engagement letter.
Yeah, and that engagement letter was in the packet of information, if y'all had a chance to look at it. Does anybody have any questions or comments on it? Straightforward. I was wondering what Amelia thought. I was like, this is
We're
fine
all
to
waiting
me,
for
but-
Amelia.
It looks good and I agree. There's been a lot of change, a lot of setbacks, to say the least. So I think putting something in the books that we're ready for the 2025 audit and our financials is very crucial.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna set us right on track and we're pretty close to getting there. And Michelle has put a lot of work in making sure that that contact is there of like, once we finish the audit, we can move forward and be finally on track.
Yeah.
So,
It was really nice to sit
Yeah.
down with Mark, like he sat down with me for about an hour and a half and we just talked about how can we make this process better.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of great ideas for that. And so that was very helpful. He told us like making folders, like he just gave us a lot of tips that we didn't have before. Also during the 23-24 audit, there were at least three different business managers, which also complicated a lot of things for this audit. So next year's audit, pretty much everything, all of our receipts are online, everything's online, so it's gonna be really quick to, we have a process in place for quotes and invoices. They're all, they get uploaded on a form, they go on a Google Drive, and so they're very easy for us to find now, so it should be easier. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
yeah, all right.
great. Any more discussion needed before we take action on the engagement letter?
No, I would just ask that, so it's 20,000 total, and is that like their fees
There was some.
or?
I
I'm
think
just
they're
understanding that.
Do you have that? I don't
Yes.
have that up. Oh, good. Let me look at yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you look at that,
Mhm.
that includes the financial statement,
Mhm.
which is $3,800. which just the small part that Summer did was about $1,200. So having somebody do it for $3,800. I guess is, I don't know if that's reasonable or not. We'll find out.
Yeah.
So, but, that's what's held us up. Like we were ready to go, except for our financials were not
Mhm.
done. And we started trying to get the financials done in January, still not done. So if they have, like, that's,
If they're doing
it's
it,
worth
they-
$3,800
Yeah.
if they can do
Mm.
the financials and they're ready to go. So,
Mhm.
and again, Veronica also said this, that it, like in hindsight, she said, we should have done the financials like first thing off, but if you remember, we were also late on last year's audit, so we wouldn't have been able to start those until I think September, October, because I don't think the audit was done last year until August, so. But learning lessons.
Yeah.
We are getting small fines. It's like $20. I don't think it's gonna be huge fines. It's a Department of Justice, and I saw the sheet, and I mean, it's probably gonna be a couple $100 we're gonna get fined for being late, so.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion?
Make a motion, we accept the Polly Rogers engagement letter as written.
All in favor? Okay, that's everyone. Do I still have to say the like voice your opposition?
I would, because, yeah, you have to.
Marie wants it.
Marie says yes.
Please verbally voice any opposition if you have any. Okay, great. Thank you. And then Amelia, did you have anything else to report for the treasury?
I don't
Okay,
know. And like I said, I had a bounce on my last meeting I was in, so.
We're trying to make her job easier.
that's good.
We want to keep her as a board member.
And the treasurer.
Yeah.
Treasurer. I guess we got her for a while.
Well, I have been looking at the reports
Reports.
and just going into like the bank, making sure things are on track and making sense that they are, so I'm more overlooking things.
That's great.
Yeah,
And again, I'm not proficient in school based, but what is being proposed, for example, for the financials and stuff, it's very reasonable.
okay.
It's very within it's actually a little less than what I would expect, but yeah. But then again, I'm not sure how schools
Yeah, I don't know. That's-
are in comparison to what
I'm sure it's more expensive for, like, we are, and that's also part of our problem is we are small, and Veronica she sees it other places that the smaller people are kind of put on the back burner compared to the bigger people, and that happens a lot. In the business manager notes for, Veronica, in the financial, she has the business manager notes, and it just talks about, all transactions have been completed for the year. So we are ready to do the financials. It's like she reconciles every month, which is very important, right? Yeah. We often get a note that says, hey, we're missing this receipt, this receipt, this receipt, and then we scramble to get it. And it's nice that she does it each month so that you're not looking for receipts from 6 months. So,
yeah. And what reconcile means is pretty much you've gone through all of your transactions like 3 times, everything squares away. You have all your documents in place, like it's ready to pretty much close. You don't close them, but you just say, I've reviewed this. It's like a final review. It's highly recommended to do them by the end of like at the beginning of each month, so that she's actually completing it. It means she's really detailed oriented. She's making it work, because it doesn't always work that way. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
No, that's a lot of work.
and I think having her upload the stuff each month, in those folders for you to see, I think is also kind of helpful for her. It
Yeah.
kind of doesn't let her push it off a little bit. It's always on there. She just talked about the open on the notes. The auditors were working on it. DOE invoicing, we're waiting on approval from the there's lots of approvals for the DOE invoices. We still have not submitted anything to Viper. We're still waiting for, because we changed people again. Dana's gone, Christian's in, so this is like our 5th person, so.
We do have a DOE update.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I'm just reading her notes, so, We have fresh fruits and vegetables have claimed 78%. The deadline's 9:30, so we will be able to claim, I don't think we're gonna be able to claim all of it, but we'll be able to claim a little bit more before, that runs out. My understanding is that program's probably not going to be funded for next year, because that's federal. Financials are being closed, DOA status, she has that on there if you have any questions about that. She did want you to know on the budget that there was a payroll error that occurred. We are reconciling it. I've met with the staff member. I've met with Sarah Reeves and Veronica. I just met with the staff member again. We need to have another meeting with Sarah, because every time we do it, we find one more little thing that it needs to be fixed on it. So we're not going to, there will be, I can present that to you when we have that. That would have to be an executive session because it is somebody's paycheck, if you want to see it, or if anybody wants to talk to me about it later. Payroll, when you look at the financials, it looks like it doubled, but that's because all the certified staff get 2 checks in June. And then, so July is gonna look really great because we've already paid everybody out, so. And the year end, the budget review will be, once we have the year end, she will have that a presentation for you, so.
I have a
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Or statement. We've had over the years, I'd say a number of payroll errors that happen. It's just, I mean, just, I've seen it happen a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how to fix it, but maybe there's some way we can
Well,
next year.
we have kind of talked about a couple
Yeah.
of things is sitting down. So the thing is like with, especially with the contracts, and the
Mhm.
contracts were a mess when we got here, like people were on wrong steps, and that's what happened to this one.
Right.
This one was like not put on the right step.
Okay.
And so in the future, like beginning in August, that first week back, I'm gonna sit down with every single person. So I've already done that with the classified staff. We've already sat down, they've looked their contract, they signed it. But when the certified staff come in, I'm gonna
Mhm.
sit down with each one of them with the salary schedule and here's where you're at, this is what we have you at, and then have them sign off that that is their salary on that. That will be helpful. It also is very confusing because the salary schedule starts at 0.
Yes.
And so like, they always think when you're on step 5, it's not that you've been here 5 years, you've been here 6 years. And
Right.
it's very confusing. And
Yeah.
so that's something we probably should have addressed in the contract, but we'll talk to MTA to see if we can maybe do an MOU for that.
I think it's aligned with the way that D21 does, which is why it's that way.
Yeah, it's
don't know why.
very confusing. It's very confusing. And then, Veronica also wrote how to moving forward. I don't know if I think I sent that to
Mhm,
everybody.
Mhm.
She has some, so they're going to start doing, quarterly, and I'm gonna start with it. So we're gonna look at everybody's thing. So I'm gonna down with them at the beginning of the year, make sure we're all on the right thing. And then every quarter, we're gonna sit down with everybody and make sure that, Veronica and I are gonna sit down and make sure that everybody looks correct. Cause I was like, how does that happen?
Yeah,
And,
that's a-
and it, to me, it looks like when she made the spreadsheet, she just put the wrong salary in, and it was pretty high.
You said 22. I'm curious, how do you reconcile 22,000?
We're gonna do we're gonna do a payment plan.
Yeah.
So, we're giving the person a choice.
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3 years,
Okay.
and then we're gonna sign off something on that, so,
Okay.
so.
And I think if we need to have more
Yeah,
conversation, it
we
should be
should
an
do an
executive
exec,
session.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Doesn't
Yes.
imply anyone, but what happens too is, and what a lot of it, not a lot of it, but some of it has to do that, in the past, it was highly relayed that the system was doing the correct, um, like categorizing, and just because there's a lot that the system, when you use payroll, like in certain systems, that it will just kind of auto classify. And because there was a lot of catch up, there was things that were being missed. And so it's also a very good reminder, and great that there's other ways that now there's gonna be additional steps to make sure everyone is correct and not fully rely on a system that
I feel ya.
can fail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think there was payroll issues the year before as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me realize like, payroll isn't easy either. There's a
It's
lot
not.
of moving parts to it.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to be really,
And then, some of the, migration, so some of the, from one system to another. And then that system that we had to the new system we have, there were some missing spots that did not migrate the way that they should have. So those are things that unfortunately are being caught now. But now we do have this very huge gap that,
yeah.
yeah.
You're absolutely, like, I think that was one of the reasons they moved from QuickBooks, because they're not. And before that, there was some other system they used, and so QuickBooks and now they're Paylocity. I have to say, like, personally, it's easier for me to see stuff on Paylocity, and I've heard that from staff members, so we're gonna stick with Paylocity. Because you can track stuff, you can see it a lot easier, you can see it on your phone if you need to. And I think being, like, having a stable thing that we're doing, but we were also, what we heard with QuickBooks is, because it's an online thing, if they change an algorithm of some sort, it can throw off the, it could give you the wrong taxes and all sorts of stuff, and so you have to be really careful.
And then the vice versa is, how do, like, again, I think Michelle touched on it, because there hasn't been a clear of where people are at. I understand that things can be missed and, so it's a hard one, cause it's hard on the system, it's hard on, the staff or everyone, because if there's no clarity, you can't really, how you properly track it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said using the annual salary as the standard quarterly payroll budget checks, dual level research, review process, so having both Veronica, so that Veronica alone is not checking it, that both, actually, it's really triple check, because Sarah can look at it, I can look at it, and Veronica can look at
And
it.
is that a monthly look at?
I think she talked about doing it quarterly,
Okay,
but
that's
I
quarterly.
do see the paycheck stubs, but the thing is, I kind of was looking at the net pay and not looking at the gross pay, and so that's a learning curve on my part, and so, gotta do better with that too, is like, but also, like, that first run, we're gonna look at that, and then look at, they have a spreadsheet that is the contracts summary, and so we'll just make sure that that paycheck stub matches that contract summary, and we've already gone through to make sure that that is correct, so, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Were those all I've got like three
And then-
additional.
And then,
things that I
error
remember.
protocol implementation, so develop and communicate a standard protocol for what steps, if there is an under or an overpayment is discovered, like, how is it notified, what are the repayment options, and making sure that the corrective timelines are taken, so.
Yes, and so that piece, that was the piece I was thinking of, is that protocol then like added into policy? Or
I think it
like,
would go
how's
in
it
our staff,
communicated? In the
well,
handbook?
in our staff handbook, so.
Okay.
I don't know, I haven't looked and see that it's anybody's policy yet, so.
I looked, we don't have one, and when I just poked around at, like, the other school districts we look at for policy,
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, and that's something I can talk to Mark about. So, and also in clarity, I contacted North Wasco and asked them if they've ever, and they have also had people that they've also overpaid. She said, and they gave me, the person that had been there the longest, and she just said the same thing, was they just normally, like, break it out. She said, you always want to find it within that year, like within that contract year, but so this was kind of at the end of it. There were other kind of complications that I can tell you about later, but in executive session, but I think that checking in with them was really good too, because I didn't know, like, I had no idea what you would do with something like
Yeah,
that too, so.
yeah. And sorry, just to double
Yeah.
click on that one, so the staff handbook you redo every year anyways. So we
Yeah,
can
so,
add
and
that
I'm
for this next
right,
one.
and yeah, yes, I'm in the process of looking that over right now. And Jen took on the student handbook, and so she kind of redid that, and I'm doing this at the staff handbook,
right.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Because they both had pretty major revampings last year,
Uh-huh.
so we just figured that we would just kind of go through them this year.
That's great.
And Veronica and Sarah Reeves are also looking at the staff handbook as well.
Nice. Okay, so I think maybe we jumped around a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry,
That
sorry.
was the
That
big
was business management, yep.
manager. And Amelia, you said you don't have anything else for treasurer's report. So now we can go to executive director report.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've got it up on the screen for
Perfect.
folks.
To help me stay beyond.
And I'll make it larger so we can see it without
Enrollment, the final enrollment hasn't changed. Projective is still on there. We have one person on the middle school waiting list at this point.
Can I just take a
Sure.
second to just
Yeah.
feel that in, have that sink in, 'cause that's huge, like we finally have a. wait
And that's,
list.
and that's what, well, and that's with increasing, because we went from 2 to 3 classrooms, and so
Yeah.
that was with adding. We added 10 more middle schoolers to make that happen. We did let one person in, and there's one more that I just want to make sure, because those classrooms are small, that there would be 20 in each. One has 21, and the other ones are 20 and 20. Just making sure that they're okay with that, and we'll be talking about middle school here in a little bit. And then we're about at 11 for pre-K, but I think it's more, that's gonna be, our goal is 15. That makes it pay for itself, is
Mhm.
15. We had a quick, you didn't get preschool promise, and then we got the next email at the 5 minutes that said, oh, never mind, forget
Mhm.
that. So we don't know, but my guess is preschool promise is probably not happening because there's just.
Also federal money.
I don't think it's federal money, but I think that the state, I don't know, there's a whole big thing with the whole Oklahoma County and, yeah,
Something.
yeah, it's harder to do that. We have kindergarten camp happening August 18th through the 22nd. It's gonna be 8 AM to 2 PM. There's 30 hours of required, seat time for the kids. That is a, ODE requirement to receive the funding for that. So this year, we're actually getting funded for it. Last year, we just did it on our own. Well, we have invited 20 of our, because we have 20 kindergartners coming in, so we invited all 20 of them. We have 9 actually, now we have 10 responses. I just got another one. And so far, only one person's not attending. You know, it's
Okay.
just because people have vacations, and so we're excited about that. We're hoping to, on that very last day, because we had planned on only doing it Monday through Thursday, and we had planned it in service. And so I'm trying to get them something to do on that Friday so that the teachers can attend the in-service.
Mhm.
And so I just reached out to Wonderworks in the Dalles to do a field trip there and just send them with like Becca Lindley and some of the
That's fun.
EAs to have them do that. And then they come back, and so we can all, and then we'll have a celebration.
Can I ask, are you done with kinder camp?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question
Yeah.
about, so we're going up 20 kids this year.
We have 20 kindergartners.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're going
Overall.
from 167 to 187.
That is correct.
So I'm just wanting to check in, are there more like resources, staff resources, or things that we need to do to support increasing?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that we're trying to do, well, in just a few minutes, you're gonna be hiring hopefully a middle school teacher. That will be one thing. One other, maybe can I talk about that when we
Yes,
do that later? So.
Table it.
Yeah. So summer learning, we were given a $30,000 grant from ODE for summer learning. There was really no way that summer learning could happen in this school because of
Yeah.
the work that's taking place. So there was an opportunity that we could give North Wasco our $30,000, and then our kids could be invited to theirs, and that did happen. And I do know there's probably 10 of our kids that are going there, and it's in the Dalles, and half of those kids live in the Dalles anyway, so it's been pretty clear. They also invited some of the middle school kids. Middle school kids are like, he's like, invite these people. Okay, invite these people. So they kept going down the list. Middle schoolers are less likely to want to go to summer school, and they probably need to go to summer school, but it's hard to give up your summer to do that. North Wasco has already, we've invoiced North Wasco for the 15,000. Oh, actually, they've already paid us the $15,000. 10 of that will go to kinder camp, and some more of that will go to, we had a teacher that helped, but they hired a couple of our teachers there. And so they pay us, and then we have to pay them. So that's how this is all working there. So very excited. Anne Marie was, and they loved Anne Marie. And so and she's ours, so leave her alone. We have our middle school vision and voice committee. Those are the people that have so far on there. I have a couple more people that are thinking about joining us. We had one meeting, we only had one parent come. It was in June. It was kind of quickly put together. So we've told them that either the first week or 2 of August that we're gonna have another meeting. I'm kind of giving that over to Jen, because Jen's gonna be now moved down to the middle school. Her office is gonna be down there. That's gonna be kind of her realm, and trying to get that going. But it's really looking at it was really great to have a parent come in and talk to the teachers, you know, about their perspective, because I think teachers have like in their mind what has to happen, and then parents are like, yes, but, and it was really good to hear that. I think having more voices will be great. One of the big things that we're going to be doing is working on executive functioning skills. So that seems to be something that most of them lack, you know, like being prepared, you know, being organized. They've tried doing planners and all that. It doesn't work. So, and so that's going to be pretty much we'll have this 20 minutes to make our schedule work that will be done every day with those kids, so that they'll actually be taught every day about how to be organized, instead of just saying, here's a day planner, good luck to you. We're going to teach them those skills. Also going to be doing some word processing skills with them, how to do a presentation, doing speaking and all that. So some really good things with that.
Great.
There's a financial link. We've kind of already gone over that. We are going to have a meeting with Tiger's Den the week of August 11th. One of the things that's come out with the audit is how messy it is to have Tiger's Den money intertwined with ours, because we because of the amount of money we have, are having to audit. It would be different than a PTA or a parent group would do. And so when we do things like Made for Mosier, we have to document every little thing, and we get audited on it. Most parent groups are separate from a school. And so I think what I heard was holding them back was being a nonprofit. And Brother's like, I can set them up to be a nonprofit. We already have a checking account set up for them, so they could just take over that checking account and that money in there, and then they would be their own people and running that. Jess seems very interested in doing that. Tiffany, or no, Juliana is the treasurer, and so she already does, I think she already kind of does that anyway. So we're hoping that that would just give them, it would help our audit, and it would also give them more independence. So we'll see how that goes. Grants, I'm just showing what the grants are. We have 195,000 for integrated guidance and early literacy. That money mostly pays for our literacy specialist and our SEL teacher. That takes a big chunk of both of those funds. So we, instead of, I think before they had like little pieces of stuff, we just went for big chunks of stuff. It makes it easier to report. And I just put the budget in there in case you needed it. Job postings, we still have a business manager open. And then here is an action item. So because we did increase in our middle school, we would like to we do need to, we've already offered the job to Ashley Sorenstad. She was the PE teacher. She has been a middle school PE teacher for quite some time. She also is a very talented artist, so she will be good for elective. We will have to, she has a TSPC license, but it's PE, and so we have checked in with TSPC. She could actually take a test to be certified in science and in social studies, and so we're going to work towards that for her. So anyway, but I just need you to do an action item on that.
Does she have any experience teaching science or in science in any way?
She doesn't.
She does not.
No. She was, we probably interviewed 5 people. I think, you know, it's one of those things when you're familiar with someone, it just makes it like, I think that, and I really tried to step back a little bit and let Jen and Melina and Savannah figure who they were most comfortable with. There was another person that also did have a science background, but also was probably a little bit more on the administrative side of it. Hadn't really been, he'd only taught 6 years in the classroom. And so they kind of weighed that together. We were really looking at relationships, you know, and how they do with relationships. The teaching of science, Jen's going to be down there. That's what she does. And so she's really, and Ashley has already taken all the books with her, and she has kind of a, like, it's an interest of hers, but it's not something she's taught. So
How many years has she been teaching or working with kids?
I think 14.
Okay.
Yeah. She's been a teacher for a long time. She walked right in and knew all the kids' names, like within a day or two. It was pretty spectacular. And we really want that group down there, and Melina felt very comfortable with her, Savannah felt really comfortable with her, Kathy Mann, also, we had Kathy Mann sat on the committee to meet with people. Actually, Mary Ellen came in and sat with somebody, but the staff seems super excited to have Ashley, so she has, her references were all good. We had, and everybody talked just about, like, she has a huge enthusiasm for
I've
learning
noticed,
and for
yes,
kids.
She definitely.
Yeah, she's
does.
very
Yeah,
enthusiastic.
when I've been in the school in my time, she's, yeah.
Yeah, she,
Awesome.
yeah, and I think that having someone with that positive attitude is super helpful,
Yeah.
especially with that.
For middle
Middle
school.
school.
especially. Yeah, bring it up. like,
Bring that up, like, even when we did Tigers rallies and stuff, man, the stuff that she did was, like, she stepped right in and did things, so.
Yeah.
That was, repeatedly what people would say about her, is just how enthusiastic she is and how. She's a perfectionist, like, she's always striving to get better at things. She stepped right in, to, to being our PE and health teacher, like, she taught some health too, stepped right in with stuff, and so it was really helpful.
That's great. And we do have in in our community here, we have a lot of science folks. So it might be a good opportunity to bring people in.
Yeah, love that, yeah. And I think she would also be a person that is super willing to reach out to people, so.
Great. That's great. Any other questions or thoughts? On hiring Ashley before we make a motion? Okay. I'd make a motion to hire Ashley Sorstad for the position of the MCS teacher for 2025-26 school year. Tiff. Can I get a second? Tiff, thank you. All those in favor? That is everyone. Any opposition, please? What do you say?
Any opposed, please voice your opposition.
Any opposed, please voice your opposition.
That's just-
Dan's enjoying this.
I'll get it down. Okay, great, thank you. Welcome, Ashley.
The next is another action item, and it's just to approve Jen Langley's contract, for vice principal for the 25-26 school year. The contract, has, we kind of shaved off a few days just because it seems like at the, I think her contract had gone up 10 days when she was interim, and looking at the past, we don't need that now. And I think, we made it so that she's here the week after school is out, and that she comes back mid, August, and like, she's already got the student, handbook done. We're pretty set to, class lists are already done. We're pretty set to go. And so that, I am trying to carve out, so Dawn's contract went down by 5 days. This one's going down by 12 days, I think it was. I can't remember. It was 220, and it's down to 203, I think, so maybe 17. And then, because what you ask is, we're going to have extra kids, we really would like to hire. We brought in, somebody in the cafeteria, for just 5 hours every day to help Richard out. I'm trying to carve out some money out. The budget right now doesn't have it in there. We're just trying to carve that out to get that person here. Cause right now I don't have the funds for it, but I'm slowly getting the funds for it. So it's like 8,000 here or something here. Yes.
Were we able to get any change on the pass-through dollars?
So what I heard from, I actually did get a response from, I have to say that Mark, he was so helpful because he's like, and here's who you need to talk to. And I did reach out to her, and she said that, that when it will be adjusted kind of mid-year, that she said not to worry about it.
Yeah.
So right now, the first part of the year, we're probably gonna be only funded for that 160 that he had, that
Mhm.
he put in for. But she said that, like, in October, they look at how many kids you have, and then in May, you look at how many kids. And she said it all does kind of wash out, and not to worry so much about it. She goes, we want you to be accurate, but she didn't think that, that we could change it at this point, so.
Okay. Yeah, when we look at the budget, I think it's important to keep in mind that we will get paid back next year or 2 years from now on the overage that we have, so it'll be 200 whatever $1,000 or $300,000, whatever it's gonna be, will be.
Yeah,
So even though it's not here this year, it will, in the accounting world, technically be here this year. It's just not paid till 2 years from now.
yeah,
2
and,
years.
huh?
Yeah, it's a 2-year thing, so this next year's money, it's fixed up or down in 2 years. Whether over or under enrollment. So,
And that's the one we're expecting to be over.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're being paid 160 or whatever the number is, but we actually have 187, so it'll be 27 times whatever the rate is that year, 14 something or other, 14,000 something per student.
So we'll
And
dip
that's
from our
funded by
bucket
the state school
this year.
fund.
Mhm.
Fill it back up later.
Yeah, and I can forward you the email that she has. That she basically is saying is like, we don't. That the school, North Wasco sends in a number. And we're just in that number. We're just in that number. So it's just like, and so they would have to adjust theirs is what it would be. And, but she also said, that only the school districts can make that update. And that she didn't really feel like it was gonna really impact us. It wouldn't impact us that much right now. And she said our team considers updates to EMR data in November. And if there are significant changes statewide, then they would give us a new estimate for that. So, North Wasco also has a new CFO and, Daniel, Peterson. Peterson, who his wife is the superintendent of the ESD. And so, I've already emailed him, and about something else, and he's pretty quick to get back, but I think he actually, is not really starting until the 15th of, July. More than likely, he had a job and, he takes some vacation time, I'm assuming that. So he'll be hitting it back there. But again, she just said, it all washes out. Don't worry too much about it. But it is hard when, Veronica felt like we should have had more school fund for our budget. It just doesn't look good on our budget, but hopefully that will be better.
Yeah. And when you see the EMR, that pass-through rate.
Yeah.
You can look at the total number and then that will help make a decision on whether we need another EA or something else, where we can say, yes, we are using our savings to pay for this, but it's
Yeah.
being paid for.
Right.
The money's there, it's just not there yet.
Right, and we did do that in the budget, and so Veronica has a note, like, this is what this is for, and then we're gonna pay ourselves back when we get that money. The other thing is like, we have that many kids signed up to come, we just wanna make sure they walk through the door
Yeah,
too.
Right,
Yeah.
not
So,
sure, yeah, they may.
And I feel very comfortable, we were gonna put it at 170, I feel very comfortable with 170, cause that's quite a cushion, but, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that news about, I think in Beaverton, Intel laid off
Yeah.
2,400, and you think about how that
Mm-hmm.
impacts schools.
Yeah, that's
People like, well, some of those folks would probably have to move.
Yeah.
So, wow. Things can, but no, not to be a Debbie down there.
No, we
It's
were
just
just
like,
reality.
yeah,
these
things
it's-
happen.
It's just kind of
There's-
when we sit here on the board, we start to pay attention to things a little bit differently. 'Cause we think, oh yeah, if that happened here.
There's a lot of turmoil out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so regarding Jen Langley's contract, the contract and also the job description was shared in the materials. Anybody have any questions, thoughts? And can I ask a process question? That's
Sure.
not the type of thing that we would share on the screen live, right?
Well, so her contract, I mean, all
It
of
is
our
public.
contracts are public, so, yeah,
Okay.
you can,
Okay, I
so,
wasn't sure about that.
yeah,
And
I mean,
then-
all of my contracts public. The teacher's MTA contract is on our website, so, not the new one yet, that's
I
going to.
generally wouldn't, and then if people
Yeah.
wanna see it, they can
They
go,
can.
if they can't get it on the website, they can ask for
Yeah.
information.
Okay,
It's public, so.
okay.
Yeah, any public employees contracts public, but usually not posted publicly.
Yeah, and
unless-
The
Unless it's
public
requested.
records.
It is about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Do you need a motion?
The only, before one thing, the only other one thing that was added to her contract, so why we, did less days, we did also give her some tuition because she's not eligible for the MTA tuition, so we did put in
Mhm.
14 or
I saw that,
$1,500 for tuition,
1,500, I
yeah.
think it was.
She is trying to go to school and it's expensive, and in other school districts, you would get some money for that, so we did put that in there for her.
Mhm. Were you gonna motion? That it?
Someone else on the motion?
Make a motion that we approve, the assistant principal's contract as presented.
Okay.
Thank you. And all in favor? Any opposition, please voice your opposition. Any opposed, please voice your opposition.
It doesn't mean it's right, it's just what I've always said. You can say something else.
Okay, not hearing anything. Great, thank you.
And the payroll summary is just
And
on.
then make sure you say motion passes.
Motion passes. No, I didn't say that the last couple of times. Okay, payroll, yep, we talked about that.
Okay, facilities update, music, we're still waiting on a building permit, not sure where that's at. August 4th, 5th, and 6th, there'll be new flooring for the lunchroom and the 2 classrooms. We put that off until this was all going to be done because we didn't want that. Mitch is quickly painting Anne Marie's classroom, and then next goes to Mary Ellen's. The cafeteria was already painted, so it's always nice to paint before you put new flooring in.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit messy.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then, new sheetrock and, new sheetrock is up on the gym ceiling, and, we also had the gym ceiling painted as well, and it's already complete. The hope is, it's a mess down there right now. Dale, we are paying Dale to come in and help Mitch get all that cleaned up. My understanding is once they're finished here, Piper's gonna have a deep cleaning of our school.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
good.
part of the, well, we're paying for it, but yeah.
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 Really good.
I know, I was just like, okay, everybody take a room. There's literally is a layer, like, that's why we put all these up, just because there's just a layer of dust over everything. Holmes, Goodman, and Stevenson's classrooms getting new paint. We did, the good news is, when Mitch and his dad did the ceiling, we went ahead and bought a brand new paint sprayer, which was about $400, but Mitch says it's amazing. And he's actually thinking he might be able to, do the same thing and paint the gym for us. And in the long run, it saves us a lot of money. So, but the gym walls has some work to do before we can do that, so. We also, new stair treads, the stairs are in, he actually wanted to wait to put the new treads on until they're done here, because they've kind of made a mess of the other ones, so. The other thing that's on our, hopeful, thing for this summer is the replacement of the kitchen counters. We went down there, they are rotting.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna replace them with stainless steel, counters. Tiffany
Yeah.
went in there, at least, one side of it will be done, and then we'll work on moving the counter out. So Dawn's been busy designing and
Oh, good.
finding different things. So, the thing is, like, those stainless steel counters are not that expensive.
Right,
So
yeah.
I don't, I mean, it's still gonna be, there's gonna be some money in it, but they're literally rotting, like they're gonna cave in at some point. So the kitchen counters, we're gonna replace them with stainless steel things, so. Outside, well, as soon as they're finished, we need to have a fence around the new HVAC system. I don't know if you've noticed, it has a big flame on it that says hot, so we need to make sure. And we did have kids playing with that, and
Yeah.
so they did put a piece of plywood over to stop that. But a fence is gonna be. We're waiting for the city on that because we're probably on city property because this school is built on the property line. It's like, there's no easement. And so we're working with the city. They said, don't worry. I don't think we're gonna worry too much about it. So they don't want it to be hot either. So I don't know.
Wait, but
Anyway.
the plywood's not on the hot spot, right?
Well, my guess is they probably have to take it off now, once they started
it's-
up,
yeah.
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 And they were gonna, cause kids had written stuff in it. So, but they said that they could comb it out for us, but they said after, you can only do that so many times,
Mhm.
so. I guess when it's hot, maybe they won't do that. I don't know. New fence, we're also waiting for a ramp from the main building to the middle school and a concrete pad. Again, the person that we had that, we had accepted their bid on, lost everything in the Rowena fire, and so we're just waiting for them to be back on their feet again to do that. Planting, so Tiffany, go ahead. You
Oh,
want to talk
yeah.
about the middle school? And, yeah, I think you should. Tiffany and I, we've got it all marked out. We're ready.
Well, yeah, a while back I had done a little cost like thing to do a berm out front there, more so just on the east and north corner, like that whole, so directly kind of in front of the actual modular. And that was because Main Street Mosier was interested in giving some funds. I don't know where that stands.
know where it
for
stands
sure, So
either,
I will
so-
circle back with them
okay.
about that. But anyway, we're gonna move forward. We got the water in out there now, and yeah, I'm just looking to plant that berm up, and then once we get the concrete in on the other side where it's gonna go, right in front of more the gas station building, and to the west of the overhead structure that exists from the gas station, we'll do a little berm in that corner as well, and that way we can plant things because we can't go down at all because of the tanks or whatever the, yeah, brown site, yeah.
Brown, yeah, brown site.
Brownsfield.
We said
Brownsville,
Brownsville.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, we'll be able to get some trees and things, by burning up, so, yeah. Then out front, I did just
Can I ask you a
meet,
quick question on that?
yeah.
Do you think that that will happen before school starts?
I hope so.
Well,
I like, we already have the water in,
Yeah.
we've already sprayed out a spot.
Probably the one berm, yes.
I think
the
we
one-
could do, I think
yeah,
that
the
one
bigger
berm, the
one,
other berm,
yeah.
we might not, because I think right now
We need
we
to wait on
could,
the
yeah, for the
Yeah.
other one. But I think we could go ahead because we have it sprayed out there.
Mhm.
And just, we
Start
talked about
accepting.
asking, just putting it out there and saying,
Yeah.
hey, and I did see somebody had posted fill dirt.
But they
on-
were getting rid of?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, like
So
clean.
we
the-
just talked about putting clean fill dirt on the base of the berm and then bringing in good soil for the top of it and then trying to find some rocks for the around it, so.
I don't think we'll have to find rocks, cause
You
I
think
think
we're
we'll
good?
get, I think Crestline
Okay.
will, they said that they're always digging up rocks.
Yeah.
You know, and then they need to find homes for the rocks, like bigger ones, so they will start, you might notice, they said they're gonna start dropping boulders out front, and staging them as they come across them, for the slope, and hopefully, I will actually reach out, tonight probably, and just get an update to see where we're at as far as like demoing and getting what.
Yeah.
I know.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and it's a huge, expense that is being,
Yes,
Given.
but from
The
Crestline,
yes,
yes,
yeah.
them donating this time and labor and
Yeah.
their equipment.
once those boulder rocks do need to be placed, let me know and I can get Augustine to come and I'll volunteer him.
On record.
It's on
Well,
record.
And they might even do it actually, like, but
Okay,
if we
okay,
need
okay.
more like help, like, they might do the big stuff, and then like, if we wanna sink more into the slope, maybe we will have,
Okay.
because those will be smaller
Okay.
ones too, like, yeah, not to put them to too much.
On the hook, on the hook, on the hook.
Yeah, yeah,
It's fine.
I know, we also
Yeah.
talked about where the berm is, at the middle school.
He has
Is,
Casey in
and
there.
we've talked to Mitch about this, is it's just gravel, is going ahead and having just a couple of loads of nice soil
Yep.
brought in, flattening it out and planting grass there.
Where
Um,
goes?
yeah.
Sorry.
in front of the middle school, like
Right
you, where the
where-
berm's gonna be, so on that east side. My own son had a gravel backyard. He put about this much soil on it, sodded it, it's beautiful.
It doesn't need that much sod, like root, so
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay, as long as we water it and the soil's good that we
Yeah.
put down.
And Mitch seemed, the one cost we'd have to do is probably get a hand mower, because he'd have to have a hand mower for that, but I mean, I
think
bought one used.
if I'm not mistaken, some sod that doesn't grow
It'll
a
grow.
whole lot. I think they call it normal.
Oh, that stays shorter in
That
general
stays
anyway, just
shorter,
species of
okay.
grass, yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know anything of.
Yeah,
I just
we would
started
probably
looking
wanna
at
look
this.
at the hardiness of it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Right.
see
Yeah.
where it's coming from.
Yeah.
well, the good news is, so we have 2 water spigots that were put in there, and Mitch says they have great pressure to them.
Nice.
And we'll do the drip system, but we also talked about, the people that we had do the water was, we went from having a 15,000,
It's
a
like a
10,000
huge, yeah.
bid to like a $3,000
Oh,
bid. So
okay.
she is the one that did the gardens out here.
Oh,
They're
great.
from Dufer.
Okay.
Anyway, Mitch said that there's actually another water line that comes out of the gas station. He knows where it's at, and if she can hook into that, and then we can have another water line that would go, and you really, if
Under
you
the
just put a
ramp,
couple
right?
sprinkler heads in it, and then it would automatically sprinkle the
Mhm.
grass. I just think that we kind of, at first we thought no grass, but I just think it is so hot
It's
and
desolate.
dusty over there.
Desolate too,
Yeah.
filling in.
It is, yeah.
It'll be
Sit
nice.
down and.
Yeah.
Say middle
Hang out.
schoolers like to just sit down and hang out.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we should have the berm up, we'll give them.
They need.
I think it'll just.
Create a space.
We're
It'll
trying to
create a
create
space.
Yeah.
He's also looking at, the actual structure, looks like it did have, electricity to it once, and so we're gonna see if Land Electric can see, like, how hard it would be to we have electricity in there and put some lights or something in it for them, and make that, I mean, it could be a very cool space for the middle schoolers,
It
and,
should be,
yeah, so. it should
right?
be, Yeah.
Yeah. We want them to be proud of their space.
Do we have a plan or had we talked about any electricity for like the court we're putting, just like to light that up? Are you thinking off of the existing structure and that?
I
Electricity,
haven't talked about,
just for-
yeah, I haven't talked about
me.
that, so, I would say no to that. Just 'cause I have a
Discourage
friend, I have a friend,
Oh, okay.
I have a friend that, yeah,
Okay.
just because lighting is very,
Sensitive.
yeah, yeah, lighting is very, sort like it's.
Sensitive issue.
It's a sensitive issue.
And,
yeah, it's
and
definitely-
Mosier, I don't know if we are currently a dark sky.
We are.
Or we are working towards.
We-
dark
I think
skies.
we are.
No.
We're not,
no,
Mosier?
I believe not.
The
But
city?
I know there's
There's
a lot of
interest in it.
passionate,
Oh, I was told that we were.
community that, yeah, but.
That
I
are
might not-
pushing it.
Yes,
Okay.
No.
yeah.
Cause so all of our lights we
Because-
currently have are dark sky compliant, so.
Oh, and maybe that's what I'm thinking, is that the city has a rule that they need to be if you're.
If
is
you're
that
adding,
true? Yeah.
Yeah.
yes,
I think they
yeah.
are.
Because I think the school got a little hand slapping because they didn't have something that was, I read that in one of the minutes of the
City
city council,
council,
the city
yeah.
council. meetings.
Yeah. I think I would set a couple of those meetings.
Anyway, Tiffany's doing a great job pushing.
I'm trying to get like.
The
they're-
goal is for the middle school definitely to be done, and we talked about if we could only get one part of the front done, we're just gonna do the one part, because that has to be somewhat put back together.
Uh-huh.
Further thinking down the road for next summer, there definitely is a push to improve the soccer field.
Mm.
Because it's, you know, it's,
It's
That's
wonky.
it's
It's
wonky,
kind
it's
of
got
dangerous
holes in
for
it.
like playing
Yeah.
hard soccer on
Yeah.
it, just. yeah.
and
Dan can probably
then.
attest to that more, having done soccer clubs.
And just gonna throw this out there, there is also some talk, Matt Kaler and I have been talking about. We virtually, while I love that we have solar panels and they make us all feel good, the solar panels hardly generate any electricity. And and they're way past, like they're 25 years old, I believe. I think they're put in 2000, so. Is either moving those or removing those, and then that would increase the soccer field for the
It'd be
kids.
more of a real
because-
soccer field size.
the kid, yeah, the kids really, like that field is very well used, and so next summer, maybe looking at redoing the soccer field a little bit. I know that the soccer coach would really like to see it, like he's almost to the point where he's not gonna use our field anymore. So it's
Like
too
first,
dangerous.
yeah, safety issues.
Yeah,
like
safety issue.
breaking ankles. and-
Yeah, I can send that email to you. And I agree with them, like there
Yeah,
are holes out
yeah,
there,
if
and
there's
Mitch
some
tries to repair them all he can, but it's a very well-used field, like.
Yeah.
during the summer.
Almost every night, yeah, I
Agree.
see in the summer, they're playing soccer or doing some activity on the field.
Pace Insurance, I sent the policy out to everybody. We now have a $10 million. We just had to do a couple of, I just had to listen to a couple of videos for that and got us to that.
Okay.
We had to go through a little bit of hoops for him, but, he felt that we have $1 million cyber security one. John Davies said he would come out and talk to anybody. If you want to just talk to him over the phone, he'll talk to you on the phone too, just to present what we have. We do have a scheduled walkthrough. It's not with John Davies, it's with the guy that's actually from Pace. John Davies is like an insurance agent that sells that to us. And we'll have a walkthrough in August. They tried to do it, earlier. I'm like, well, let's wait. I wanted to wait until all this was done, because they're gonna see that, hey, we have a updated HVAC system, you know,
Yeah.
we've got some of our projects done, the stairs are redone. So they should be pretty happy with us. We've got the lighting down on the stage. We've gone through most of the things that Dawn's been really good about going through
That's
the
great.
list that they have. We're also, facility condition assessment, the state of Oregon provides this assessment. What they did though is it all goes through North Wasco, and so North Wasco, of course, didn't include us on that initial thing, but I've been kind of asking and asking. And so hopefully they were supposed to come out in July, but now they're supposed to come out in August. And so they come and they'll spend a day and just do an assessment of your facility and say, here are some things that you need to do. We did have somebody come and talk about the door from the gym outside directly. And I just thought it was gonna just go directly out. That's not true. It would be much like the cafeteria one. Where
Oh,
you,
the one that we were
Mhm.
dreaming.
It would go it would go out and then you'd have to have some steps or a ramp up.
Oh.
And she felt like it could be done, but I think that's a next summer or maybe it should be she was also the engineer that came out is, she was very much saying, we definitely need to have a door out there.
Mm.
She kind of worries about, just the safety of trying to get kids out,
Egress and stuff.
egress, yeah, because
Yeah.
having the door that's on the stage where like you couldn't, like during a play, like it's half the time it's blocked. And which it can't, we try very hard not to have it blocked, but it's just how it happens. But having that extra door would be really a big safety issue. So
Mhm.
she doesn't think we'd have to make it ADA.
No,
Mhm.
okay.
She said because we'd be grandfathered in. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just gonna go straight out.
Yeah, I kind of.
I thought it too, but it is
It's
about-
deeper
it's
than-
deeper than
yeah.
it looks, so. Yeah, luckily that's why she's the architect.
Yeah, yep.
I just put the calendar in there, just, in case you had that. Transportation, Lisa Keysberg is going to South Bosco as part-time and not gonna be the transportation supervisor anymore or director. I don't think they have a replacement for her. She is currently doing summer school. I have asked her a couple of times about buses and I haven't got a response from her. I also, somebody sent out the busing, the North Wasco, or South Bosco was having some buses that were,
Send it out, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, those were too big of buses. I also have been looking on the Western bus it's in Boring.
oh,
They have used buses and they have new buses, and you said that you had someone that you were looking into.
I mean, I look at buses all the time, cause I
Okay.
like the bus. It's not gonna like me making, but the ones depending on what their qualifications are at the garage they manage them at.
Yeah,
Like the best ones are the diesel pushers with the Cummins engine and an Allison transmission, but I don't know what they are used to servicing over there.
yeah.
But those ones last hundreds of thousands of miles and, we just need to figure out what we're allowed to get. as far
Well,
as the drivetrain.
she was really, and Western actually has these on their websites. It's kind of crazy. The ones that she's telling us about can go from being a 14 to a 32 passenger.
Mhm.
Like, and
Oh.
what her thought was, if we train somebody, and we do have a staff member that's willing to be trained, she doesn't want them taking a big giant bus up these roads.
Yeah.
She felt more comfortable with them having a smaller bus on those, but that would also solve a huge amount of our problems, is going around and picking up these kids, because then the other kids can just hop on the freeway and it'd be a much quicker trip for them.
Mhm.
So, I'll try to reach out to Lisa, tomorrow or the next day and just see, like, I don't know if they are advertising for a new person, but I'm gonna tell you, like, that is a hard. See, you think CFO is hard to fill? This is really hard to fill. It's like, it's a tough job because you're like, during the winter, you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then you gotta wait till the evening till all the buses are, like, it's a tough job, so.
Mhm.
She's done it and she's been an amazing. Yeah, she's been really amazing. And then I just put kinder camp, first day for staff.
Wait, so,
Oh, sorry.
real quick, cause, I was getting ahead of myself on
Sorry.
something and wasn't listening as good as I should be. Is the fact that we don't have a transportation supervisor going to hold us up on potentially buying a bus?
Good. Because so we'll buy it, but it will be in their fleet. So, Lisa felt very comfortable doing that. I don't know about the new person, so. I assume that they're gonna be okay. Like, we'll just tell them that we already have that deal done, because we did. I mean, she okayed it already.
Let's
So-
hope the district has a transportation director.
Lisa's gonna stay with them
Oh, she's
until
interim,
they, yeah,
okay.
I don't think she's gonna leave them high and dry, but,
Okay.
she was ready to, she's gonna work part-time for Southwest, because she lives in that area. I just think it's easier
Yeah.
for her. I mean, she has a big farm and all that, so. And again, it's a really tough job that she has, so you
Yeah.
can't blame her, so. I don't know. Again, I'll have that, maybe that conversation. I can also talk to Dr. Bernal and just say, hey, do you have somebody in mind? What's happening? So, I don't know. Okay.
Just if we could get parameters on what kind of buses to look
Yeah.
at, you know, what. That way we. You know.
Mhm.
And I think
you know, what-
Lisa did send us something, so. But that's gonna hamper our, I would like to get that bus this year so we can at least try to move like the pickup time a little bit later.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
15 minutes is
Oh, it'd be
something.
huge,
I
be
mean, yeah.
huge.
Mhm. And do we have any idea of the 20 incoming students? How many live in the Dalles, Mosier,
Yeah.
where kids are
Couple of
living?
them live in Hood River. And we have a lot of new Mosier people. A lot of
That's
new
what I've
Mosier
heard.
people, yeah.
Several
I would
families.
say
Five
at
families?
least, we have 10, well, we have 5 that I know of, and probably, and then one that came this year. Yeah, I would say probably 10 new kids are coming, that are living here, like
Mhm.
building houses and
Yeah.
stuff, so. We have one, I don't know if there's 2 or 3 of them, their house is not quite done, and so. So I think they were looking for a place to live before, before it finished, so.
Since you have texted about the dirt.
Got it.
Okay.
Great, okay, kinder
That's
camp, we're gonna.
Oh, I just gonna say, yeah, and so just upcoming things is we have kindergarten camp from the 18th to 22nd. First day for staff is August 25th. It would be nice if maybe 1 or 2 of the board members came, just did a welcome on that Monday, because we have all staff. I can share the schedule with you. It wouldn't have to be, at the 7:30 time, or it could be at the 7:30 time, but I just think it's always nice for them to
Mhm.
have somebody from the board come and just.
On
give them a
the
pep talk.
25th, on the 25th.
Give them
We
a pep
made
talk.
we made a breakfast board.
Oh,
I think
that's
has made
fun.
breakfast in the past.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's really
Somebody-
sweet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, we
Yeah,
had,
you-
I can't do
Gone.
it this year. I don't know.
I don't know how to make
we
anything. other
bought
than
them
oatmeal.
breakfast last
Or
year.
fine, even easier.
We bought them burritos.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Good.
Yeah, we just did some fruit and burritos, so yeah.
It's Monday.
All in-services need food. That's just how you get them to come and stay a
Yeah.
little bit, so.
Well, I'm down to coming and helping.
Oh, that'd be great, yeah, yeah.
I
just
think I am too.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
it's a nice to
Mhm.
have the board here, just to, I would say, like. I brag about you guys all the time. It's like, you're the best board, the best board. And I think that, but I also feel like all of the staff feel that way too, so.
Yeah, we get pretty good reviews from them.
Yeah, that's
From
good.
what they say out loud to us at least.
for that, would we be breaking anything if we can just email each other on some ideas for like breakfast or?
No, that's okay,
it's
coordinating.
not
Yeah,
any-
because
Yeah.
we're just coordinating,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
However.
Oh.
Do we have, no, that's a commute, would we have to, advertise our potential quorum or our quorum?
Well, I think maybe not have 4,
Maybe just
but
don't
maybe
have
just,
4.
maybe only
Right.
have 3 of
Yeah.
you there.
Yeah.
Just don't talk about anything.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
I
a, we have a
just,
forum here every day, we pick up
Yeah.
our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we would be here as board members.
But you can
We're
be
not doing board
for just
business.
not talking about board business.
Yes,
or
yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we could all go to skate night,
Yeah.
as long as we're not
Yeah.
talking
also-
behind the scenes about what.
There's
we're
a
doing
little
with
bit
the
of a
school.
difference. What I was thinking is that, like, those are all social community events, which we know that quorum, it's not a quorum because it's just a social community event in a small town. However, when it is like more officially, like we're showing up
Mm.
as representing the board, that's different. And I just saw something in the paper the other day where, I think it might have been like Stevenson City Council or something was going to be attending a conference together. And so they, noticed publicly that the forum would be together. So it's just an easy,
Mhm.
process step, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, that's right. Sometimes you have to do that. This might
Yeah.
not be that.
I'll be gone on that day, so I won't.
Yes. I'll be
I
there.
can make ahead like some scones or something though for Sunday, but.
Yeah, well, and you just, I mean, I can also order, so we're good.
Yeah. let's
Although
figure
I
it-
wouldn't mind your scones.
I know, I think so.
Anything Tiffany makes is good.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're all getting hungry.
And
Okay,
Okay, that's all I got.
Is
Unless you
that
have any
it?
questions, yeah.
okay. Any questions? Any more conversation on Michelle's updates? We-
No, and I'll try to update more when I know more from Crestline, if there's more of a timeline handed to me about what's going on out there.
That's so exciting. I can't wait to see all that
You know, that's so
happen.
great.
Yeah.
I know.
That's amazing that doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. Okay, so then let's see, I'm gonna stop sharing. The next piece is bridge toll reimbursement. Michelle or Dan, do either of you wanna kind of tee up this?
Oh, wait,
Agenda
before,
item?
I'm
Huh?
so sorry.
Yeah, so-
I saw, we had preschool staff discount.
Oh, yeah, we probably should. I didn't put that on there. So, last year we gave, staff, some staff a discount rate and it wasn't, it was, I don't know, it wasn't really well done. We were just trying to get kids to come to the preschool. And so that kind of was an incentive for at least one of the staff members to come. And so what we decided this year is, Veronica and I talked, and I also talked to the staff that was involved about it, and we're offering a 30% discount to classified staff and 20% to certified staff. And I talked to the certified staff member just to explain that, and they literally make twice as much money as and this person said, I get that, I feel comfortable with that. So, we had talked about making it like, if you work in the preschool, directly in the preschool, but then we just decided to make it an entire staff. I sent it out to all staff so that they know that that is an option.
Yeah.
I think that we only have 2 staff members that are gonna have their kids in here this year. One of them has a kindergartner coming in this year, so it's like they're gonna not have that. So, just trying to make it a board, above board out there. I talked to I talked to the I talked to the MTA about it, and they were all on board with that too. It was like giving them a discount, but also making sure that we're financially secure. And that felt okay with that, so.
I feel like that. Does that need to be a policy?
Might be. Let's look at on our next policy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for catching that. Okay, bridge toll reimbursement.
Yeah, we were approached by an employee that lives in Washington that uses the bridges and gets a toll. And so we've been sent an email with the total cost. The hope was, or the ask was that we would get a reimbursement to the employee, and so that's where the discussion is centered around.
And a little history is when they were hired on, the executive director at that time said that they could do that. I actually signed off on it last year, even though I wasn't here, just because I'm like, oh, this is what we do. After we did I did go through the, and onboarding documents and didn't see anything in writing on that. I also did kind of look up, I talked to Veronica about it, and Veronica's like, she was against doing something like that. She just said it can be, when I looked it up, using public funds to reimburse somebody for that is also very discouraged, so.
And is this a common practice? Like, do others, like, does Hood River do this for people that are coming over, or does, the Dalles do it for people? I guess they don't have to pay, it's free bridge.
Yeah.
Even out of a school district, it is highly discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I personally discourage it
Yeah.
for a lot of financial things. It is overcomplicates things. It can be done. It just becomes tricky, especially in the school
yeah.
setting.
My thought is that if we were to do something like that, it would need to be applied for everyone. An
Yeah.
option for everyone on the staff.
That's what I was gonna just say too. I feel like that's advantage and unfair like compensation that you're giving someone versus out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would need to be offered to everyone at
Mhm.
least,
And
yeah.
I think we would always, would have to open then to the possibility of X amount of miles.
Yeah.
Like now that
Right.
brings
Bridge
like
toll.
not just bridge, but
Yeah.
now actually I or we or whatever, we live out of the Mosier or Wasco, what do you wanna call it? It just opens a lot.
Which we do have, like plenty of
Mhm.
employees who do not live.
We have
Like
somebody that lives
Parkdale,
in,
right? I mean, don't
Yeah.
even-
I think so.
Or Doofer.
Doofer, we have somebody that lives in Doofer, we have somebody that lives in Goldendale.
Okay.
So, I mean, Goldendale's quite the drive, so.
Yeah.
And that is, I think that's kind of what Veronica was, like, I was just like, I don't know, this is just, you know, I didn't know much about it, so.
Yeah, and I think that's why I oppose it, cause it just opens a can of worms that it makes it very complicated.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What's the figure that we're talking about, or what were the receipts, or?
Well, I think
Curious.
that's the thing, like, I don't think looking at one person's bridge tolls would tell us because.
No, I'm just curious, cause that's what we're talking about, but I mean, I think in general.
So like, it would,
Yeah.
it could be multiplied by multiple people is what
Mhm.
I'm thinking is if folks. If we open it up to everyone, we don't have a good sense of what that cost would be because we don't know. One, what the policy would be like, what mileage would we be reimbursing? How many bridge tolls would we be reimbursing? Bridge tolls did go up, so it's kind of expensive to do that.
Well, we could do a quick calc. I mean, it's about 190 contract days. Let's just say 200.
Mhm.
And then,
Well, it's 190 days, but 5 of those are holidays, so the most that they would be contracted to be here is 185 days.
okay.
Yeah, but we were going for easy math.
Easy.
Oh, you're going. Just goes for 200.
Let's see what the highest.
Go
What
200.
is the fee now?
I don't
For the
know.
whole-
It's like,
Recently.
351 pass?
Well, not if you
No,
have a breeze, not if you have a breeze
breeze
line.
Yeah.
It's it's a dollar, 175 is
Yeah.
correct.
and then I think, I mean, I don't recall right now what the rates are, but there's standard, like
350 a day.
government rates
350 a
for
day
mileage.
times
The
2.
other big
70
issue is
cents
that
per
Yes,
cent.
those are
it's
50
wages and
times
benefits, that's
200.
what we negotiate with the union for, so that's another
That's
thing,
big.
it's like. It would, you know, I think it's one of those things where if it's an issue for enough people and they bring it to the union can advocate for it the next.
Okay, hold on, that was good. Something that we want everyone to hear probably. We were doing math-ish.
Yes.
Did you get?
No.
700, well, it's less, but it's
It's
just
gonna be large.
take it to
Rounding
the
up,
high.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's for like
Sorry, what?
specifically bridge toll, not covering a potential like mileage thing.
Right.
And then Dan, you had something to add.
Just thinking about, you know, that's a benefit for a wage, it would be a wage, a taxable wage, that's something that we generally negotiate with the union on.
Uh-huh.
And union members, and all the employees will be union members. Soon, so. That's something that needs to be brought up through the union, in my opinion.
So that would be like the process to use.
Yeah, generally, yeah, if you're gonna
Yeah.
negotiate pay, you negotiate through the union.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause they would be taxed on it. And I think that's something that, it's important to inform and to really clarify that.
Mm.
It's not a direct reimbursement as it could be for certain supplies. It is an actually taxed wage you are being,
And we're also paying PERS on that as well.
Yeah.
So it's more than just that cost.
Okay. So I know this isn't an action item, but it sounds like everybody kind of, we're just coalescing around. If we were like to move forward with something like this, it would need to be through the union negotiate the MTA process
With that contract.
with the contract.
Mhm.
And so do we need to make a motion on that? Or like, how does that work? If this was just a discussion, do you just get back to the staff member?
I mean, yeah, I can just get back to the staff member and said, you know, that we're not unable to do this at this time. So, and if you would like to pursue it, then they need to go through the MTA.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
mean,
what
you
you're
say
saying?
the board doesn't feel comfortable taking this up as a topic and that
Yeah.
it should be carried through your union.
Cause it's not in their contract.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my thing is it's not in a contract, because that's part of being in a union, right? Is that we follow what's in the contract, so.
Mhm.
I think one of the
Yeah.
things that created a lot of consternation in the past too is that past administrations would make special deals with employees. And so there's not uniformity in contract, and so you have employees that would. It wasn't any rhyme or reason there, so not doing that, I think, in following, as we move forward, having uniform contracts,
Yeah, there definitely
Best
was,
practice.
prior, before, there was a lot of negotiating steps and things like that, like, in a union, you cannot do, like, that's the whole purpose of being in a union, is you have a contract, it's very well spelled out, everybody's playing under the same rules, and
Yeah.
so, and that's kind of what made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I wanted to make sure that you guys.
Yeah. Good, okay. Anything else on that? How about, we kind of gone to some of it, the DOE,
I thought Brent was gonna be here tonight.
yeah.
I should have reminded him. I can kind of tell you what's happening, with the trying to get reimbursed process is, right now we have about $360,000 in invoicing that is there. It is at the, I don't know what the GMS stands for. Anyway, it's someone who checks over your invoices. They like to make sure the invoices are perfect before we then upload it to Viper, and Viper's where it would go. Then once it's in Viper, it's supposed to be paid to you within 72 hours. So we're still not at that, we're still not there. We're getting really close. But Veronica feels like she's got a pretty good handle on things. As you can tell, we're very, very, I mean, now that we have air conditioning in here. Yeah, it's getting a little, there's a little button over there, so you can turn it down over there. That'll help, yeah. Mitch and I did look at the thermostats, and all we thought we're gonna have to put covers on those, or do they have a lock on them? Because we thought about
If
kids.
you wouldn't have said, I was like, wait a second, what's going on?
Yeah,
I didn't even look
Yeah,
at
we have air conditioning. Okay.
I don't know, they see in my home.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, just like.
Oh, it was on low.
Yeah, and then,
Oh, thank you.
It works really well.
it worked
It
really
works.
well.
Very cool.
Matt and Brent and anybody else who'd like to come, it was supposed to be tomorrow, but I think Lars can't do it until Friday. We're gonna do a walkthrough. There are some concerns about, just the crazy, I don't know what those cages are that are
Oh.
holding stuff. Some of them, how can we make those look a little bit more appealing than what they are? They're fine in the staff room, we don't care, but, in the gym, those are just gonna collect balls, like all day long, because there's too open. And so we're gonna have a walkthrough with Lars about that. Like I said, they're supposed to kind of do a general cleaning of everything when they're done, so we're very close to finishing this part of it. What we have been talking to them about is we won't have spent all of the $868,000. We have about 560,000 that is solar panels. The lady before Dana, she was, telling us that we had a couple options, because there's no way we can get the solar panel, because we have to have that mesh panel. There's no BABA way to do that with BABA right now, the Buy America, Build America. So her suggestion was to make sure that we're getting the most out of that money. We had a couple different things that we could do. We can adjust the budget. And so what we can do is take some of that solar money and put it onto the HVAC system. And they sent us the process of doing that, is updating the budget. That would be one thing that we could do. The other thing is to obviously do the windows that we had talked about. We can do but that's only $50,000. So we have to kind of see where we're at that point. Veronica, I kind of talked, I haven't talked to Matt or Brent about this, but Veronica's feeling, because we have all the contractors, Piper's easy to work with doing things, is to just adjust the budget for the HVAC system and try and get as much money out of that. And then do, if we have money left over, then do the window things. Because if we could do that, and then we could just do the windows on our own, because honestly, doing stuff on our own is a lot cheaper. Just,
What do you mean by just adjust, like transferring it over to the HVAC?
So, in the budget, I think the HVAC was at 500 and I have to look at the budget again, 540,000 or something. And then the solar panel was 560.
Mhm.
And so what they're saying is taking some of that solar money and moving it to the because the HVAC is a lot more expensive. It's like $800,000.
Okay,
Is just moving, just saying the HVAC system is costing us more. We're gonna do a budget, I have the thing that she said, we're just doing a budget adjustment. And then that's a process, though. We have to say, here's our reasoning, here's what we're doing. She also said, anything that's, you're better off not to do solar, not to do EV. It's just, they're just not approving.
Targeting
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, you're just targeting, but they still love HVAC. They love Windows. So keep it in that realm.
previously, wasn't it suggested to us not to adjust the budget?
Originally, but then the Dana's like, oh no, you can adjust the budget. So we're now through our fifth person. She really seems like she knows what she's doing. And then Christian is the new person.
Mhm.
Hold on just a second, but, she did send us, Shoshone, has been with us for quite some time. They did send us how to, I'm looking at it, Rachel, here it is. When they sent us our recap, they did send us how to initiate a budget reallocation request. Email DOE with a request explaining the background information and the details in email body and attach a revised budget justification showing the proposed changes. Please highlight all edited cells in the budget. And then they'll look at it and they can make, I mean,
Mhm.
the best, you can always just try it. And if they say no, they say no.
Maybe do it after we get the Viper.
But after we get a big
Right.
chunk, after we get some of the bills that we've already paid, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So in that case, we would be kind of deciding not to do solar at this point.
I think it's not that we're not deciding to do solar. I think we would have to be using our own funds to do solar.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
Yeah, we'll see where, part of that was of the state, the 30% reimbursement.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff's in flux right now,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we'll see where that ends up
Yeah.
and go from there.
and then Matt, and actually this, Dana had said the same thing. While solar would be amazing, it is a big investment in order to get your money back out of it. It takes a while for you to get it.
Uh-huh.
Where she felt like we would get a lot of bang for our bucks with the windows because it is,
Yeah.
because you're trying to save energy in here.
Yeah.
And that would be really
Mhm.
helpful.
And I'm sorry,
And-
I've got lots of questions. Did that idea get passed by Brent and Matt already?
Well, so Matt, yes,
Okay.
and Matt has written an RFP for the windows and he wrote for all of the windows that we need to have
Mhm.
replaced. Because it's more than, because there's 50 just right here. And then, which doesn't seem like, but well, is it? Yeah, because it's there's a set of 10, a set of 10, a set of 10, and a set of 10, that's 40. But then there's like smaller windows above, and then those two main windows that you come in, those are just single pane. That's just single.
Mhm.
He's like, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do
Mhm.
that, because that's gonna get a lot of the wind.
Mhm.
And then the 3 cafeteria windows. So he has a RFP ready to go. We are gonna, next time we meet, we're gonna actually, we're just gonna show the RFP to Christian from the Department of Energy, show him the RFP, ask him for any suggestions on that, and then go ahead and put that out.
Mhm.
I mean, cause that's not gonna affect anything, but it can get the RFP out. And then, there's a couple of, like, I've talked to, somebody at Hood River that, and we also have somebody who's already doing work with us that is already ready to bid that out, has already got a bid for part of it.
Mhm.
We'll just get bids for that. But if we have an RFP and we run it for a time, that, I think the federal government likes an RFP better than anything, because it's just a lot more official, so
Mhm.
very documented, so.
And our auditors will like that too.
Yeah. All right.
The other things, I think we were still planning to insulate after we're all done up there, but maybe
And
we,
yeah,
so we can apply that. to
Yeah.
That same thing.
and she also said insulation would be, like, I said, well, which do you think? And she said, well, you can move some of the money, the solar money, just over to the HVAC system. Veronica thinks that's gonna be the simplest, just because where we have the contractors and all that going.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And we can try that. And then the second thing would be to do I think we need to do the RFP for the windows anyway.
Mhm.
I mean,
It
Yeah.
makes sense because it's gonna keep the energy that we're spending money on through a new HVAC
Yeah.
in the building
Yeah,
more.
I agree.
So,
yeah. He also put in the RFP to fix, reclock all the windows that are on this side too. And some of the windows were not installed properly to actually get them installed properly, like. Some of them, like one of them in Sarah Grace's room, you can actually push the window out, because it's missing a couple screws.
Mhm.
Get that fixed.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, that's.
Anyway, so that's kind of that's a very quick update, so, Matt's been coming and checking in and talking to them as this goes. I mean, that's something else that we wanna maybe talk about too, is there is supposed to be money in the budget to pay, I think he feels a little conflicted about money.
Yeah.
Yes. Where he could just sit there and not say anything. Anyway, so he's like, well, maybe it's not that 50, like, I don't know. I think that both he and Jill do need some compensation, so I think we need to look at that at some point too, what that looks like, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, they both had compensation lined out in
Yeah.
their original contract, and I think we should just stick to that.
Okay,
And Brent too.
I don't think
Hasn't.
Brett, huh?
No.
No,
it's
he
with
didn't have
voluntary
it,
use.
just Jill and Matt,
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's all I can do.
Anything else on DOE?
Any more questions?
So then I guess just to like kind of circle back on that, so hopefully we'll hear soon that we're in the Viper system.
As soon as we're in the Viper system, I'll send out an email telling you that we're in the Viper.
Celebrating.
Yeah, we'll celebrate that. We're definitely gonna celebrate that
Check is
one.
coming.
Yeah.
And then after that, or like in prep, like maybe preparing ahead of that to possibly go through the process of
Yeah.
readjusting the budget.
Yeah, and again, we now have a new person, Christian, and so we can tell him that Dana said this and make sure that he's on board with that too, so.
Great. Okay, anything else? Well, then and we did talk in the ED update about the facility inspections.
So this one's different.
Oh,
Whole different inspection. So, this is a new rule, law, something that the state of Oregon. Not only do we have to license our paddle boards.
Yeah.
What?
That's the thing. It's a
It's a thing. It's a
What do you
thing.
call it? A vessel.
So
It's a vessel.
there now is some sort of Oregon Building Performance Standard. And so if you go onto that, if you click on that link, this is brand new. I don't even know, do you know what the square footage of this building is? Cause I don't know. I know the gym is 4,700 feet. And so if this one building is over 35,000 square feet, we actually have to, do these inspections. So, I'm just learning more about that. I just wanna let you know that.
Will that
Might be happening.
include the middle school? Like,
Oh,
we have to,
it's the
just the
building.
building.
It's just,
okay.
it's each building that you
Okay,
have,
that has
so.
to-
And so this is the only building I'm worried about,
Yeah.
because the other ones are not gonna make
Right,
that.
no,
I
I was just
don't know.
wondering if it was an aggregate of but just one
The
building
campus.
can't be
Yeah.
over 35.
So they have to be in compliance, and you have deadlines and all sorts of stuff on that. So, this is brand new. We just got the email about it. We just put it on there. It's House Bill 3409.
What is the purpose?
Says energy performance standards.
So the good news is we should do fairly okay, because at least
Right.
we're not having an oil furnace anymore. So,
Mhm.
you know, I think they're just trying to get everybody updated and
Mhm.
more energy efficient.
But they
think there
set
was
this
a-
standard. Is there any funds to help people? You know what I mean?
That's gonna be my question.
Do they have a provision yet? for
Yeah, so
funds?
I'll let you know more, like, we're just learning about this, but I do want this on your radar, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
questions, thoughts?
Mm.
Oh, what's it? Next is policy review. Anybody on the policy committee want to run through it all, or would you like me to? Okay. No takers.
You're in charge now, girl.
Um,
Trying to find I have a floor plan for the school somewhere.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, folks, so for this month, we've got second reading of quite a few policies. The first reading was on June 17th. I want to just ask generally in your review between last month and this month, do you have any questions or comments on any of those 16?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
They're a well-oiled machine at this point.
yeah. Give us a policy, we'll review it. Okay, then I will do a second reading by title only, and then we'll ask for a motion. Right? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so second reading policies. GEB, communicable diseases in schools, and also oh, this is gonna be hard for me. GBEBAR, which is the administrative rule around communicable diseases in schools. GBEA, workplace harassment. GBEAAR, workplace harassment reporting and procedure. GBDA, mother-friendly workplace. GBCA, staff religious dress. GBC, staff ethics. GBA, equal opportunity employment, equal employment opportunity. My dyslexia is coming out in this right now. GBA, AR, veterans preference. GBA, GAB, job descriptions. EFAA, public charter school nutrition and food services. EFAAR, reimbursable school meals and milk programs. EF, management of food services. EEBB, use of private vehicles for public charter school businesses. EEAE, student transportation and private vehicle, and then the administrative rule that goes with that, which is EEAEAR, proof of vehicle liability insurance. I would make a motion to adopt all of those policy updates as read.
Hmm.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Dan, thank you. All in favor? Great. Any opposed? Please voice your opposition. Okay, motion passes. We also have 13 for a first reading, and then our second reading will be at our August 19th meeting. I'll read them by title only. GBEC, drug-free workplace. GBI, gifts and solicitations. GBJ, weapons in school for staff. GBK, KGC, prohibited use, distribution, or sale of tobacco products and inhalant delivery systems. GBM, staff complaints. GBMA, whistleblower. GBN/JBA, sexual harassment. GBN/JBA AR2, federal law title 9, sexual harassment complaint procedure. GBNA, hazing, harassment, intimidation, bullying, menacing, bullying for staff. GBNAAR, hazing, harassment, intimidation, bullying, menacing, cyberbullying complaint process for staff. GBNAB, JHFE, suspected abuse of a child reporting requirements. GBNAB, JHFEAR. Not sure what that one is.
Those are the.
Probably the
AR,
administrative rule for the-
For the other one.
Thank you. And then GCAB, personal electronic devices and school media for staff. The links are on the agenda for everyone to review and available to the public as well. Are there any questions or comments yet on any of those policies? Okay, we'll do a second reading next time for those. And then there's one that I think that this should be an action item for us. The GBLA is disclosure of information, and OSBA has recommended that we delete that policy.
Okay.
Can I make a motion to delete GBLA, disclosure of information, from our board policies?
I'll
Can
second.
I get a second, Dan? And all those in favor? Anyone opposed? Please voice your opposition. Motion passes. Thank you. Great, that's our policies for this month. And last but not least, we've got time to talk about or to get updates from our committees. So first one, Julia's not here, but she has to have this on here. So the first one is talking about scheduling the 2026-27 school year committee to start working on and thinking about how to make the 4-day school day, 4-day school week.
Yeah.
Implementable. So is that, so we've got options of making that a board committee or, an executive director committee. Any thoughts on that first?
What do you think, Michelle? Is that
Well,
something?
I would like to see it a committee that has board members, staff, and parents on that
Yeah.
committee, so.
So that's an
Just-
ED committee.
ED, okay,
probably,
so yeah.
right? Is that right? I mean,
It
I know that,
depends. It just has to do with, ED doesn't have to be posted.
yeah.
And then it doesn't have to be reported or public.
Right,
Yeah.
no, the notice, hold on, I pulled it up. It's in our hand.
That's not a good sound.
Board policies. So, executive director committees may establish standing or advisory committees that report to the executive director. The executive director may establish by policy memorandum or other documentation, the composition, purpose, and duties of any committees she or he may establish. These committees are not subject to public meeting law.
So
Um,
for that one, we just can't have a quorum.
I was gonna say unless we have
Right,
more than.
kind of like our
3
strategic
board.
plan.
Yeah.
Committee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
it
the
would be very
strategic-
similar to that,
right.
Yeah.
so,
I think that,
yeah.
oh, they're all talking.
Now they're all making noise.
And then the other would be subject to the public meeting laws. You would send out an agenda, take minutes.
Publicly notice it, yeah.
So probably ED.
Yeah,
think
just,
ED
I
if
think
if you
ED
want.
too.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
with a blend of people that are gonna be in there, and then
Yeah.
I don't think we'll have more than a few members that wanna be involved. I don't see.
I mean, I
full-
assume Julia's gonna watch. it.
Julia would like to be involved.
Gonna go for that.
Yeah. For the, just for my knowledge, for the board committees, are we allowed to have non-board members on those committees, or board committees are just board?
You
Members.
can choose.
Okay,
Yeah.
They can have more
you can-
people. It just has to be, it just has to be run by the board, and then.
oh, yeah, and that's right.
minuted.
And then another difference is that in that case, the board is making the decision, right? So a board committee is to inform the board's decision-making process. They would provide us a recommendation,
Right.
and then we make the decision. With an ED committee, it's not that same process.
Mhm.
And the board
decision
has to vote to establish that board committee.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cause you've already
But it
voted.
can have, it could already have, it can have more than 2 board members, a board committee.
yeah.
So,
Or,
You can have, yeah.
because you've already voted to
Mhm.
move to a 4-day school week,
Mhm.
that vote's already taken place.
Yeah.
So this committee is really like, how do we implement
Implementation.
that? How do we make that
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. I mean, I think there can be an ED.
yeah,
I think ED seems
that sounds
yeah,
great.
to
Mhm.
Yeah.
align with it.
Yeah,
Okay, so does anybody on here besides Julia? Dan?
great.
I would consider it. I just wanna wait though, if someone else wants to do it, or I don't think McKenna's gonna want
No.
to, but I
Yeah,
can't
like
speak for her.
that.
She might want to, but. I'll get back
Um,
to you. I may, if there
okay.
isn't gonna be any more. I may
Okay.
consider.
I do not want to, but I would think it would be important to have some parents from the Dows.
Yeah.
To get that perspective of the busing and all of that.
Parents, and then making sure that we have some certifieds and classifieds, so having,
Yeah.
equal voices on that too, so. I can put something out to say who would like to.
Yeah, and maybe giving them the option, because they probably will want to, and that involves their lives a lot.
Sure.
Okay,
And then is there, an objective
Well-
date or?
I think it's something that we need to report monthly, just to like know how things are going. I mean, and maybe if we meet as a committee, we can like break it down, because I can see. Like transportation, I mean, that to me, transportation is the biggest thing. The other thing is having somebody in, that would also, cause we have to reopen the contract. For the MTA,
Mhm.
because we have to change their Article 9 for them, so, like, I can see stuff being broken down.
Mhm.
And it's also, so the calendar's part of it, transportation's part of it, the MTA part of it.
And then the Fridays.
I was gonna say the Fridays, like
That was part of
finding
the board,
something
board
to.
decision.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we said yes because we were gonna offer something on Friday that was part of the stipulation of going to the 4-day.
Yeah, and, yeah, because we're hoping to use Champions this year and then because hopefully North Wasco, I'm not quite sure why they backed out of it when they did, but they definitely did. I see Champions all day long
Uh-huh.
at Hood River, like they're doing summer school.
How's it looking?
They do, I mean, they do a great job, so, and maybe I just have another conversation with Jordan again and figure out Friday, so.
Is Jordan from Champions or from?
He's from
okay,
Champions.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
he was the one who's like, and we were ready to go, and then North Wasco backed
Yeah.
out.
that's right.
So,
I wonder if
But-
like the MTA rep should be the MTA, your MTA rep should be the person on the committee. That way they're speaking for the MTA and then the classified. That being that.
yeah, so, yeah, we still don't have any movement on that, because they voted to join a union, and we still haven't had any movement
I
on
need
that.
to
So,
do the
yeah.
unionizing part.
Yeah. You wanna not share?
It's
Not
not
sure.
shared.
It's not.
I don't think I'm sharing screen.
Okay.
That's yours.
Oh, is that mine?
Mhm.
Oh, that's mine. Okay. That's weird. Okay.
And
But you're just sharing
One
with us in this
thing-
room.
that for the Friday option,
Mhm.
is whether, you know, I mean, Champions
Maybe
is
just turn it
something people have to
Turn
pay
it off.
for. And, you know,
Mhm.
do we make it, what, I guess it, probably be, important to review, if there's any accommodation to pay for, you know, families that might want the Friday, but maybe can't afford, because I looked
Oh, I
at the
think it needs to be
costing.
covered.
I know, I
Yeah.
kind of think
Yeah.
if you need Friday, you don't
You need
pay
Friday,
for
you
it,
get
like,
Friday.
yeah, I kind of do too, if we can figure that out.
I
don't think we'll be able to
I
afford.
don't think you can afford that, so.
I think
We
we
get
have
that to change
to
things.
figure it out. I think that that was part of like, I mean, we can go back and look at what our minutes say, but when we were having that discussion, the reason for not going to a 4-day was around financial situations for families and not being able to,
Let's talk to Champions and see what their options are for.
Yeah.
and if,
scholarship.
yeah, like, I mean, cause there's other options like we talked about, also not wanting our staff to have a decrease in their pay, so maybe,
The only staff that we could use, the certified, I mean, the classified staff. Certified staff they're gonna
Yeah.
match, because
Yeah.
you also have a longer day for everybody.
yes,
And I guess that would be a little bit of my argument with like, why not to pay for Fridays? Because we are giving everybody, all parents are going to have a longer day, so they're going to benefit from not having childcare in the afternoon every day.
Well, let's-
So,
We'll work through in the committee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
rather than
And
try it, you
maybe
know.
have someone from SPED, because the longer day too, I don't know,
Yeah.
if Kathy Mann would be part of the committee or,
yeah, I'm
Mm.
sure, yeah, we certainly, yeah, I think.
um,
The thing is, like, with any committee, we put it out there, the first one, you have tons of people there, and then by the end of it,
mhm.
you saw what strategic plan to end up with at the end of it,
Yeah.
you just get less and less people.
And Michelle, I don't mean it in a bad way,
Yeah.
but I think we couldn't compare afternoons versus a full Friday, cause
Yeah.
afternoons you have more options of
Yeah.
being able to maybe even
Yeah.
ask for a favor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of do a tag along. Versus a Friday, you're actually looking for possibly
Yeah.
childcare that needs to be paid.
All day.
So I don't think it's I don't think it's a comparison we should.
Yeah, I
Speak up
can
too.
just tell you, like, the experience that I had, like, we definitely offered stuff on that Friday, and literally, like, nobody took, like, because people just kind of figure it out, I think. So, and as Julia pointed out, we already have like 6, we have a crazy amount of Fridays that we're not here anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
Currently.
What I would say to that is, so if that ends up being our experience at
Uh-huh.
Mosier Community School, then we can make a decision later on
Yeah.
to like not
Mhm.
offer something.
Yeah.
But I do feel, and we can go back and look, but I do think that the way we were able to get to the 4-day school week was by saying there would be a Friday option for
Option.
folks, recognizing that it's a financial burden for families to not have school on Friday.
Mm.
And so I like not making any decisions, but if we
Yeah.
need to cover, if we need to dip into our finances to cover that for a while, then that, I think that that's what we should do. I don't think we
Yeah.
should leave families
Well, I think it's-
expecting that
right.
they're.
With our classified staff, I think we have an option there to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we,
Yeah,
because
maybe
they all
they'd be
get totally
interested in
creative
giving
on
us
that.
yeah,
money
they would,
and-
they might be
Yeah.
interested, and
Right.
my understanding from, like, and that's kind of what Champions does, is they use a lot of
Yeah, that's
classified
right,
staff
that's
already.
right.
So maybe we take them out of the mix and we just
Mhm.
Yeah.
do a profile. I think that. should be
Yeah, I
doable.
think there's lots of
Yeah.
options, but I
Well,
don't.
Yeah.
Program coordinator and figure it out.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Cool, okay. Other committee stuff. Well, is everybody good on
Yeah,
that?
except
committee?
there's one thing that and that I've struggled with this from the beginning of the conversation on the 4-day week is we haven't really addressed student achievement a whole lot. I mean, there were some studies shown, but I hope that there is a lot of focus in the committee on that because it is, significant. It's part of our role and responsibility of why we're here. Is we have to make sure that, kids are doing well and you, I mean, I know, there's tremendous pandemic learning losses and so, in the piece you sent, from Oregon State University, I mean,
Yeah, I didn't start that, but I just looked at, like, I saw the article that the Oregonian did, so I always like to look at the research. When you do look at the research, I'm gonna tell you, like, what they're saying is, there's not a learning gain, but there's also not, like, there's really not they don't see significantly a lot of difference between a 4-day week and that. And a lot of them are thinking that there's less instructional hours. And that was something that we wanted to make sure is like,
Mhm.
there wasn't just less, that maybe there's actually more instructional, like, we wanna make sure that we continue to have. It's really about the instructional minutes, I guess, that's there.
Well, and that also, we also could use Friday as a way to further
Yeah, yeah.
academics, like when there's
Exactly.
kids who need
Mhm.
extra
Yeah.
help, like
Tutor.
coming on
Yeah, I
Friday, yeah.
because
like
the
tutors.
NWEA released a article in the last few months that was not favorable, and I know that they're helping with map testing.
Mhm.
So I wonder if there's a way to
Mm.
bring them into the committee or be part of the planning process of the
NWEA,
and map and
yeah, so we're doing map testing this.
right,
Yeah.
and there's an article, I can send it
Yeah,
out.
sure.
Yeah.
And it, they've been reviewing, there's more and more data
Yeah.
coming out
And
because there's more and more schools that have adopted it. So, anyways, I'm
Yeah.
like, it just seems, I personally, the way kids are doing nationally, it looks pretty, daunting to get the kids on track out of the pandemic period. So how do we, but maybe, we can do it better than anybody's done before, which is what I hope, I'm a team player.
Yeah.
I just think that in order to do it well, we're gonna have to dig deeply and maybe consult with NWEA because
Yeah.
the scores are really,
So NWEA, what they do is they
Yes.
actually they just test kids. I mean, they're just a tester. So I don't know that there's somebody that you would consult with. Because, but they're just, they're part of what they do is they sell us a test so that but they might help us be able to review our data.
well, Emily
that-
Morton, who was part of a paper, I think that was the author.
Yeah.
Um,
And I would like, sorry to interrupt, to emphasize, I know I sent out, I was like FYI. What impacted me is that reading through it, there seemed not to be a lot of enough data to say either or for middle school and high schoolers, but there was for elementary. That's what I was, and that's what I continue to read, and that's where I'm also reading and trying to go a little further, because middle school and high school seems that, there isn't data possibly out there, but for elementary, there seems to be more of a data collection that is starting to be more visible or being able to be measured, I should say.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
There seems to be some benefit for the high schoolers. That's
Yeah.
how I read the OS.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is, we will need to be intentional and thoughtful about how we implement it and what we do and provide all the supports so that it is a story of benefiting all of our students and not one that, you know, like the ones that you see. Cause
And
it's totally
again,
possible.
Demographics is your biggest indicator of success for kids, like all the research, that it really is about demographics. And so the thing that we want to be intentional about is how to overcome that. Like,
Uh-huh.
how do we make sure that that does not play a piece into, like, we're making sure that we're offering high quality, rigorous, lots of interventions so that every single kid is is succeeding here. That, like, that's really what we need to go for, so.
Okay. Okay, I'm noticing that it's almost 7, so I want to see, does anybody have an update on fundraising from the fundraising committee?
I do know that Veronica met with, I think, Juliana today, because they're still trying to get the receipts. and
Yeah,
trying to-
Juliana
yeah,
said she was talking.
they're still trying to kind of get that feeling, and again, that's like another reason why we want to kind of separate a little bit,
Yeah.
is this is really holding stuff back
Mhm.
for us, but, so we're gonna, and we're also, the other good thing is Veronica's putting stuff in place that she can then hand over to that group, so.
Okay.
So they still don't have a bottom line on what was. raised.
Yeah, okay, and so question, is the fundraising committee different than Tigers Den, or are those the same?
Yeah, I don't know, so,
There's usually only the fundraising committee on there. There's the Tigers. Den
yeah,
Talent
not
Committee.
normally something on there, so.
And is that is fundraising committee Tigers Den?
I don't think no, yeah, no, that's like McKenna's head up of a board committee for fundraising, right? Is that what I
Yes.
understand,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
So it's the only. And yeah. That's the only one we have right now for committee that reports is fundraising committee, and McKinley reports on that.
Okay, and we
where, like-
don't really necessarily have a fundraising committee then? I mean, I know we do on paper, but if it's
Right.
just McKenna, we don't have a committee?
Probably.
Okay,
should
so maybe
probably
we need
address
to
it
like,
next time
yeah,
she's
check in
here.
on that one. Okay, and then we talked about Tigers Den.
Yeah, I mean,
Is that what
they
you're
have
saying?
elected new officers, Jess McKenzie
Mhm.
is going to be the president. She's looking for a I thought Sarah Grace was a co-president, but something happened.
Okay,
Something
okay.
happened along the way, and so, Sarah Grace is now the secretary. And Juliana is now the treasurer. McKenna she's gonna focus all her attention on fundraising, like,
A phones kind of a thing, like jogathons, readathons.
Yeah.
Those kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fundraisers,
like, and she also
those
asked for
ones.
any of the, like, the work that we're doing here. She's going after businesses to see if they'll like donate to the concrete, like stuff like that,
Yeah.
so.
That's great.
And she's good at that, so
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
a great thing for her. And then, I don't know, there's some other things.
Fern and Billy are VP, I thought, right? Are they sharing Fern and
Sharing
Billy,
it.
like,
Maybe
as
that's-
teachers?
yeah.
For Tigers Den though, are gonna be that
Yes.
role. I believe.
Very cool to see so many teachers being involved in that
Yeah.
committee too. I think that that's really, very smart on their part too, you know, cause that, they can kind of help.
Yeah, guide
You
it.
know, guide with where they're going with. The hope is that we also have more of a, like a fun, what was it, a membership drive this year. So that we get everybody to become members of it and to understand what it is. They have kind of looked into PTA.
Mhm.
So people understand, like, because a lot of people don't know what Tiger's Den is. Like, they're
Mhm.
like, what is that, you know?
Yeah.
But they do know what a PTO or a PTA is.
Right.
And so, probably a little bit more marketing on
Ah.
that, so.
Okay, and then, there is the Middle School Vision and Voice Committee, which you already reported
Yeah.
on. Anything else for committees? Anything else for today? Tonight? Oh, wait, we do have another thing for committees. It's not on here.
Oh,
We're having a garden committee meeting.
oh, yes. that's on-
Tomorrow.
No, Friday.
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 What day are we?
No, it's like Friday. morning.
Friday is not tomorrow.
No.
Friday morning at 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here in the garden, if anyone wants to come.
Yes. One thing, sorry, just circle back about the schedule committee. Michelle, then you'll send out like an email.
Yes, yeah.
Gathering folks to hopefully join and take part in that, helping us figure out the 4-day.
Yes, I'm gonna send, yeah, I'll send that out.
Great.
What time is is it at 10?
I think it's at 10. on
Yes,
Friday.
on Friday, it is, yeah.
Okay.
It is
Then
now.
I would make a motion to end the meeting today.
So adjourned.
Adjourn.
To adjourn the meeting. Second. I got a second.